Jonathan Puga, and I'm here with Mr. Robert Hollis. This man is a legend in the home business arena, and he's helped 44 people to $1 million status, and he's currently helping me. He's one of my mentors, and it's just a pleasure and a blessing, and I'm just grateful to be interviewing him today. And he's gonna drop a lot of nuggets, and definitely he's gonna help you and better yourself in your life and your business. So, how you doing today, Mr. Robert Hollis?
Blessed and highly favored, Jonathan.
Awesome, awesome. Well, I just want to let you know I'm just really grateful to have you on the show today, and I know your time is very valuable.
Well, I'm very honored. I'm very honored. I love helping people, and that's why I do what I do. So you've been an incredible student, and I love all the people that you're helping, so that's why I want to give back.
Thank you so much. Well, the first question I have for you is, how did you first get started online?
Well, I first got started online, believe it or not, back when it first started. It was back with Netscape Navigator, and it's funny for your listeners that there wasn't even CD drives. And so, I really was intrigued. I was an automotive engineer, and when I seen the internet, it just really, really, really fascinated me. So, I seen right away that the internet was going to be something huge, and I love reading books, and there was a book by Bill Gates called The Road Ahead. And in that book, he had a DVD that, not too many computers could even run back then, but, he was showing the future of what he believed the internet was going to be. And if you know his story, he at one time basically sent out a memo to everyone in his company saying that if anyone talked to him about the internet, that he was going to fire them. And he said, we need to focus on Windows. We need to finish the next Windows. I think that was back in '95 or, Windows back then. And someone took Netscape Navigator and left it on his desk. And like you heard me say, Jonathan, when your mind's open, it works like a parachute. It works. And, so what he did is he spent the whole weekend loading Netscape Navigator and then exploring the internet. And when they got back that next day, he did another memo telling everyone they needed to put everything on hold, and they needed to come up with a browser and a online mail application, which was Internet Explorer and Outlook Express, that he gave away for free because he was so scared that Netscape Navigator and the rest of the world was going to take over the internet and he wouldn't have anything to do with it.
Wow.
Yeah. So I figured if billionaires were intrigued by it and believe what it could become in the future, I needed to figure this out. So even though people see I do pretty good at this stuff, Jonathan, to think that I've been, really, really honestly working on the internet since probably, really heavy since 1997.
Wow. So
Yeah.
you're here in the beginning.
Yep.
That's awesome. That's so awesome. Well, yeah, I know I learned some tricks from you there. All right. So let me ask you this. This is a question that a lot of people ask, and I just want to ask you, and I'm sure that a lot of people want to know this. If you had to start again tomorrow, would you do the same things, or would you change some things?
I would definitely change a lot of things. The reason why is when I was first trying to put capture pages online, there was not a way to really drive people. There wasn't such thing as Google or even AOL. You know what I mean? So driving traffic, the only one out there was MSN. Yahoo hadn't even started yet. And driving traffic was something that no one even knew how to do. And so back then, everyone marketed with email addresses. So the only reason to capture or put up a page was to drive people and capture their email addresses. Now, again, I don't want to sound like I'm one of those old parents, Jonathan, that said, I had to walk in snow, up to my chest, uphill both ways. But think about this. You couldn't even watch a video online. And so when people sit there and think about it, when you went and looked at a picture, it would tile. You know what I mean? It would sit there and just, You know, so you clicked on a picture and you walked away and got a sandwich, and you come back and maybe the picture was loaded up. So you had to do it all via email. So when you asked me, would I do stuff different? I would think I would do things hugely different. Here's the first stuff that I would do is I would find someone with an affiliate program, and I would find a product and a person that someone was marketing that I really truly believed in. You know, my first thing that I tell to anybody is that if you're not a raving fan, if you're not a believer, if you're not a super excited individual on the product that you're marketing, if you're not a product of the product, then you're going to have difficulties. When you see people, Jonathan, go, you know, they're marketing a million things. You know what I mean? What they end up doing is they market a million things bad. You know, so what you want to do is you want to find something, and I don't care if it's a Snuggie, I don't care if it's a book from Amazon, I don't care if it's an audio program, a video program. You want to find someone that has an affiliate product, and you want to learn how to drive traffic and how to post to that person's affiliate program. Because if maybe you never end up being the individual, Jonathan, that has your own product. But if you look at the names out there from the Jeff Walkers, you know, he just got written up in Forbes magazine as being the $400 million man. All right. So when you have online marketers that are getting that good, he made over 400 million in 10 years. And he's the one that came up with the product launch formula, how to launch a product. Well, every one of these guys talk about, Jonathan, that when they first got in the industry, you know, from Frank Kern to Evan Pagan to Jonathan Budd to Mike Dillard, every one of these people, Jonathan, found somebody that they knew had a great product, and then they ended up in the top 10 of that person's affiliate program. So the way that you learn how to drive traffic is, again, understand that a lot of people that are marketing a product or a service, if they have an affiliate program, don't they want to do sales? Of course they do. So why wouldn't they teach their affiliates how to make money from their affiliate program? So if you notice people like Jonathan Budd, you know, that came out with the futuristic marketing, you know, what he was able to do is he was saying, hey, listen, when Jeff Walker came out with his program, I was one of the top affiliates. You know, when I got involved with MLSP, I was one of their top people. If you hear of Empower Network right now, you know, everyone's making a big deal out of David Wood and the rest of those guys, but they don't know that they were the top 5, number 2, number 1 reps of MLSP.
Right.
You know what I mean? So a lot of these people that are now huge in this industry are people that got smart enough to promote somebody else's product and service first.
Right.
So if you look at me stepping into this industry, getting really serious in the last year and a half, my first step was I wanted to figure it out. Second step is find the people that were the best at it. There's no one better than Jeff Walker. Then study and immerse yourself in everything that he's got, and then be an affiliate. Be an affiliate. People want to skip that step. So, Jonathan, you know me pretty well. And so for me to say, oh, well, you know, I was with this company for 4 years and I did $110 million in sales last year for that company.
Right.
Isn't it easy for me to step into my own industry and say, I think I know how to market if I do $110 million a year in sales for another company?
Exactly.
So, you know, now people will listen to you. But what a lot of people do is they try to skip and just do their own product or do their own marketing and do their own training, but they haven't built a network yet.
Right.
Yeah. So if you hear from Mike Dillard, Jonathan Budd, any of the people out there that are successful in this arena right now, they all were promoters of somebody else. Even Tony Robbins worked for 10 years for Jim Rohn.
Wow.
Okay, so think about this, Jonathan. No one knows this, but if you don't know who Jim Rohn is, you Google him. You know, go on YouTube and put in Jim Rohn. His last name is Rohn. But think about being the #1 salesperson for Jim Rohn for 10 years, Jonathan.
That's amazing. Yeah, Jim Rohn was a guy I listened to a lot. He's a really good Got some good stuff.
So when Tony wanted to go out on his own, virtually everyone that ever seen Jim Rohn knew Tony Robbins.
Right. Right.
So that's really neat. So I always love telling those stories because Jim Rohn was with a guy named Earl Schoff.
Right. I know.
Les Brown was with a guy named I forget his name, but he ran Holiday Magic. So think about all the people that are the big guys. You know, Jack Canfield. He's one of the top reps with a company called Isogenics. A lot of people don't look at the affiliate marketers, knowing that the top affiliate marketers used to be in the top 10 of network marketing companies. You got to learn how to build relationships. You got to learn how to build a network. You got to learn how to get other people results. And then when you go out and do your deal, then just like the book, it exploded for me. You know, how is that working? Because I already had an established network that knows me for 25 years.
That's exactly right. And one thing I wanted to ask you was there's a lot of people that are always like, well, I got to advertise, I got to do this, I got to do that. But they really are missing the key of building the network, building the relationship. So can you just kind of explain, you did somewhat, but
Yeah.
the difference between sales and marketing?
Yes, absolutely. Well, sales, and a lot of people don't know, but first of all, only 5% of the people out there, Jonathan, are salespeople. Only 5. So if some of the people that you're training, Jonathan, that are leaning out to you to learn how to do this, and by the way, if you're watching this, training with me and Jonathan, the reason that I'm helping is because you gotta hang out with Jonathan. This guy is a student of this industry. There's no doubt in my mind he's a future multimillionaire and $1 million a year earner. He's gonna figure it out. You got to plug into him. He knows how to plug into others. And so the whole key really quickly is that when sales, what you want to do is if you're doing advertising to a link and all you're doing is getting them to either buy or not, and then you abandon them and never talk to them again. That is a way to sell. It is a way to sell. But I'm telling you one thing, it is not residual. Eric Worre talked about this with Network Marketing Pro, is what you do is you're always hustling. You're hustling. So whether you're selling insurance, whether you're selling cars, whether you're selling real estate, it doesn't matter. If you're going to have good weeks, you're going to have bad weeks, bad months, good months, you're going to have bad years, good years. So whenever you see someone that's constantly doing the hustle, they don't know how to build residual. On the other hand, those same areas, those same profession, insurance, real estate, car sales, the person that takes the time, they help the person get in the car they want. They send them birthday cards. They send them anniversary cards. These are people that I've met that have been with the same car dealership for 15, 20, 30 years, and they don't do any advertising. They make, $1 million a year off personal referrals. Can you imagine that? And there's people out there. But when, the real estate industry is exploding, anyone can sell at real estate. But when it flipped upside down in 2008, the people that are still $1 million producers on a yearly basis right now are the people that establish a relationship that when people think about someone, hey, who do you know is a good real estate? Oh, Bill Eber's great at real estate. And what you do is you're good at referring somebody because these guys are solid. They took the time to build relationships. So the one thing you want to do when you're working on the internet through Facebook and building, I tell people all the time, I was just saying this the other day, Jonathan, if someone can't build a list of people, 5,000 friends on Facebook, if you can't do that, you don't understand reciprocity. You don't understand giving before you get. You don't understand how to give before you get. You don't understand how to, do the universal law. The more you give, the more you get. You got to get people to know, like, and trust you. That takes time. But guess what? 5 years goes by anyway.
Right.
3 years goes by anyway. So, if you don't learn this way of building a network that knows, likes, and trusts you, I was thinking before we got on this interview, because I wanted to be prepared, Jonathan, even me, I still think of that. And I think when I say the name Oprah, does she have a network of people that know, like, and trust her?
Absolutely.
Okay, think of any athlete.
Michael Jordan.
Does he have a following?
Huge, enormous.
Just like Apple, if he came out with the new Jordan shoes, people would go out of their way to watch it. So, they have the All-Star game this weekend. One of the people they're interviewing is Jordan. Do you think that picks up the amount of people that watch?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So you got to learn to do this. And there's not any of your viewers in this interview, Jonathan, that has sent Oprah a check or Michael Jordan a check.
Right.
So what makes them so valuable?
People know, like, and trust them. They go out there and they just give.
Yeah, so they're good to their fans. They always offer great stuff. So now advertisers are willing to advertise and give them endorsements. So, at the beginning, Oprah was just a broadcaster in Chicago, doing these things. Oh my God, there's a car accident out on Highway 15. You know what I mean? That's where Oprah started. But
Yeah.
now they say that if Oprah does the Book of the Month Club, that book goes to the #1 on the New York Times bestseller list just because she says, I like this book.
You're absolutely correct.
So, I'm not telling your listeners or you, Jonathan, that it's going to take you years to build this. Because you asked me in one of the questions before, would I do the same things as I did before? Absolutely not. Every day now, I would be thinking how Facebook became a billion-dollar company, the way Groupon became a billion-dollar company, the way YouTube became a billion-dollar company, the way Google and Yahoo became a billion-dollar company, is you got to get up every day thinking about content, video, pictures, audio that you can give to the masses for them to want to know, like, and trust you. Click the like button, click the share button, click the comment button. Follow you. If you're doing Twitter or Pinterest, you got to create that kind of following. And you got to get them to know, like, and trust you before you do the sales deal, before you post something. So if Jonathan's always giving me videos and always giving me audios and sends me, these nice little things where I'm going, oh my God, that's a great picture, that's a great quote, I'm not going to forget that. And I got people right now like Paulo Cueto that's got, 11 million fans on his Facebook. I can't wait to see his stuff, even though I know that most of it's in Spanish. It takes me no time whatsoever to go to Google, click on translate, and translate what he's got. And when this is where you and I know we want to be, Jonathan, is when you do a post and down in the left-hand corner, it says, 680,000 people saw this.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what I love about the internet. It's no BS.
Right.
If you post something and no one shares it, no one likes it, no one comments on it, then don't post that again.
Right.
But if you post something like you catch on so fast, Jonathan, I love working with you and I can't wait to work with you closer this year. Because you know why I posted that meteorite thing yesterday?
Oh, yeah.
And did I put a link on it?
No?
No. All I said was, wow, 980 people, meter it. And all of a sudden you see how many times that was shared. How many times that was liked. Had nothing to do with me trying to sell a book, get somebody involved in my marketing companies. Nothing.
Right. And ever since I've been with Unlimited Profits, my network has grown. Everything that you've taught me has grown. So if people are out there struggling, definitely, you want to hook up with me and Robert, unlimitedprofits.com, and definitely check it out, because a lot of these people that come online, they're always bombarded with emails and sales and stuff. But it really comes down to what you just said, promoting and getting people to know, like, and trust you. So thank you for sharing that.
Absolutely. Well, and just like doing this interview, I know that you're going to share this interview with anyone that will watch it, and you're not looking to make money off of it.
Nope.
That's reciprocity. That's giving and knowing that it's going to come back and not even expecting it to come back. So now when I make a post, it blows my mind sometimes how fast things get spread. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which I don't know if you've ever heard this phrase, Jonathan, but it's a great phrase that it says, "To much is giving, much is required."
Right. I've heard it. Yep.
Okay, so the bigger my networks are, now that there are over 1 million people in my network, you got to be very, very careful of what you post and what you're giving out and what you're following. It's like, can you imagine if I made a post, pro or against religion, politics?
Oh, wow. Yeah, that'd
Can
be.
you imagine if I posted something that was, over explicit?
Wow.
And so some people out there don't think. I could make one post and lose thousands of friends, tens of thousands of friends. And I know what some people are probably thinking. They're probably thinking, well, I don't want to, I just feel like I need to, I can voice my opinion on anything. Well, great. Then maybe you shouldn't think about building a network that could create you a residual income where you never have to work again. Just keep voicing your stupid opinions and offending as many people as you can.
Wow.
And I'm not trying to be political here, but isn't it amazing, Jonathan, regardless of who's been the president, do you know that no matter what a president says, there's 50% of the people that disagree with him?
Absolutely. I see it on the Facebook.
All the time. So it doesn't make a difference if he was pro-guns or wanted to eliminate guns altogether. You
Right.
always got this large group of people that want to disagree with you.
Exactly.
So you got to be careful what you post when you're marketing and building a network. If you say, hey, listen, everyone that's ever gotten educated in the United States public education system that's rated 38th in the world is just bought into a bunch of stupid, retarded stuff, getting a degree and having a student loan the rest of your life where you can't get a good job, you know what I mean? You're stupid. All right, great. I don't want to work with you. You just called me stupid.
Right.
So what if it's right? You can't do that. You can't just come out and just say to people, hey, listen, aren't you doing a home-based business? Or worse yet, Jonathan, you should be doing my business. If you're not doing my business, you're stupid.
Hmm.
And they don't know why that they're in this competitive mode, the opposite of what science of getting rich says, being a creative mode. So I got all these professionals in direct sales, all these professionals in online marketing, all these professionals in personal development, and all these professionals in network marketing that love me and promote me to everyone they know. Because I'm not going to tell their people that I'm not going to go out there and get on a interview or get on a radio show or get on a TV show and badmouth what they're doing.
Exactly. And that's a lot of people think like, oh, you're not in my company, we'll forget it, and then they spam you links, and they don't understand. In order to, um, you know, go out there and build a network, people have to like you, and that's by promoting other people. I always see you promoting people all the time.
Yeah.
Always.
And we'll never stop, Jonathan. We'll never stop.
Exactly, and that's why I do.
Yeah.
I
If
promote
I
you.
find something new that Tony Robbins did or something that Les Brown did or anyone out there that's got any kind of information, that's when you always can tell a good leader too. Not pat myself on the back, but if someone finds some great piece of information that gave them an epiphany or made them go, wow, I never thought of that, then what they do, what a person does is they'll either share that with everyone they know, or what they do is they try to reduplicate it, in their words, trying to take credit for it. Well, in my opinion, now you're doing just the opposite on how to be successful. Not only that, but anything that you put online, then no one will give you credit for it and they'll steal it. You'll attract a bunch of people that steal stuff and call it their own because that's what you do. That's what you taught them to do.
Right, right. Yeah, I got another question for you, Robert.
Please.
Uh, what would you say is your most valuable asset in your online business?
My most valuable asset would have to be my network. The people that now know, like, and trust me is my most valuable asset.
And
As my friends, is my fans. And we brought that up before. If you see someone win an Academy Award or a People's Choice Award or a Grammy, they'll stand up there. If they're spiritual, they'll say, hey, I want to thank God. I want to thank Jesus. I want to thank my mom and dad. I want to thank my manager. And I definitely want to thank my fans. Because the fans are buying the concert tickets. The fans are buying the downloads, not stealing the downloads.
Right.
See what I mean? A real fan's not trying to steal your music. They want to support you.
Exactly.
So you might do another album.
I like what you said. You told me this a long time ago, but you said, well, if you go out and you buy a product or something, and then you don't share the affiliate link with your friend, you just give them the download that you bought. You're teaching them to be a thief.
Yeah. Yeah. And I learned that one, even though I knew it personally. The one thing that I love about people like Jeff Walker is Jeff Walker, if you buy something from him and he updates it, do you know he never charges his customers again for it?
That's awesome.
So he came out with Launch Formula, PLF, Product Launch Formula, and I think he's got the domain launch.com or launch.net. And get this, if you buy any kind of product from him, he sends out an email before he launches another product or an update of that product saying, hey, Jonathan, listen, I'm about ready to launch Product Launch Formula 3.0 or 4.0. And because you bought it from me before, I just want you to know, if you log into your back office, I updated everything, got a bunch of new resources, and it cost you nothing. Because you bought something from me before, I'm giving it to you for free.
That's awesome.
Now, what does that do to you?
It makes me like him a lot more and want to buy more products and share his stuff.
The last one.
Share.
See, so now people log in and they're looking at all the new stuff. Well, they probably never went through and applied the stuff that they bought to begin with, right? So now they're looking at this stuff, and up in the top there it says, Jonathan, if any of this training or anything is benefited you in any way, shape, or form, here's your affiliate link.
Awesome.
Share it with other people. So he's always updating his old stuff that people bought. He's giving it to them for free, and then what he's doing is making everyone affiliate, whether they ask for it or not.
Absolutely.
Got to think different. These people that become billionaires in 3 or 4 years by giving away stuff for free, I like these people. I like that new way of thinking.
Awesome. That's awesome. So, what are the main mistakes you see out there with newbie marketers coming into the online marketing and network marketing that really don't have a mentor? They just kind of see something, or maybe they find a mentor, but that mentor is not making any money. They're just saying that. What's the mistakes that you see with the newbie marketing?
It's funny because you almost answered the question for me. It's the biggest mistake that people do is try to figure this out through hard knocks. In this day and age, with all the stuff that's available on the internet, I'll say this, and people get mad at me when I say this, and I don't care. You are flat out retarded if you don't research, find people that are documented, that are willing to tell you they're documented. Now, here's 2 ways that you can see documentation. One, they'll show you, like I do, or you look at all the people that are giving them reviews and giving them testimonies. See, Jeff Walker, I've never seen Jeff Walker ever document anything. But when you got people that say, hey, I went with Jeff Walker and I made, $250,000 last year. Jim Rohn says this all the time. When you got other people, Jonathan, that are using your name, when you get other people that say, hey, I was a stay-at-home mom, taking care of my kids, and now I make full-time income to provide for my children, and Jonathan Puga showed me how to do this, that's when you know you got it. I quit my job today, and I could have never done it without Jonathan Puga. See, that's when you're getting it. right? Is when you
Absolutely.
got people that are doing that. So now you don't really need a lot of your own personal documentation. If I took it so people really get it, the big picture, like Richard Branson that owns Virgin Airlines. See,
Right.
he doesn't have to tell people that he's successful because Forbes magazine does it for him.
Yeah.
You see my point?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What's his name that's married to Beyonce?
Jay-Z.
Jay-Z doesn't have to tell people what he makes.
Nope.
Because if you go online and put in Jay-Z net worth, there's too many websites, including Forbes. When Jay-Z's doing an interview with Steve Forbes that owns Forbes magazine, because he's a billionaire, and the same interview, there's Warren Buffett. So when a billionaire is interviewing you with another billionaire that's there, he's doing it. He's doing okay.
Yeah.
My question to your listeners is, does he have a following? And does he have a satisfied customer base?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. If you don't, you're working for someone who does.
Awesome. Absolutely right.
So
Okay.
find a documented person and do what they do. Don't give up. Master what they did to make money. So if you're following Mark Zuckerberg, you better figure out how to build a social network. Don't do 90 things. If you said network marketing, find a company and a product that you can believe in and find a mentor. That's still what I call in phase one. There's a little different thing that I think I look at as mentors in the networking world, because if you go follow a professional network marketer that's no longer training or building, they might not be interactive with you. You know what I mean?
Right.
Find someone, and this is it's funny because this actually is written up in The Art of War. In one of those books out there that are pretty powerful. I would find someone that in my position with a company, let's say that I'm Crown Diamond, and there's someone underneath there that's a royal or a position below that, but they're working to get to Crown. And you go on their Facebook and you see them going from city to city to city to city doing live meeting. It might be better in the network marketing world to be personally sponsored by someone like that. And if you're not, no big deal. Work your way up until you find someone that's super active like that, which is another important point. You got to find someone that you relate to, that you can edify and promote, and you also got to be very careful in the way that they do business. See, some people do business, but it might not fit your style.
Right.
So they're successful, and I make jokes about this all the time. Do I believe that people make money selling drugs? Yes, I do.
Yeah.
It's just not a profession I'm interested in.
Right.
So just like marketing, there's still people that I know out there, Jonathan, that makes millions of dollars a year by doing email marketing. Why? Because that's what they mastered.
Right.
See, Frank Kern learned to build a list of emails. That's, if you ask Frank Kern, Andy Jenkins, Eben Pagan, if you ask these guys, the most valuable asset that they had 10 years ago was their email list. Different today. See, now these guys are trying to figure out why email doesn't work anymore. And I, and people like me, have more fans on their fan page than some of these guys that make 5-10 million a year. Why? Because if you ask me how big my email list is, I don't market with email.
Right.
I'd rather build a fan page. I'd rather build a YouTube following.
Right. Right on the button. Right on the
Cool.
button. Yeah, I know. I noticed the past years that email marketing is not where it's at. Basically, it's Facebook now, social media, and
Right.
definitely you're the one to learn from on that. So
And I think that everybody knows this, but we're waiting for it to catch on. When you hear about mobile advertising, when AdMob, was bought by Google, everyone knows that one day that everyone's going to be on their smartphone or their iPad or their mini iPad or their Microsoft Surface. I think that everyone, you and I are talking on, really ancient technology. So when you're setting in, an HD camera or normal camera, setting on a monitor that you can't take with you, we know that the internet's picking up speed, and we know that technology and processor speed are picking up in the new technology.
Right.
So, when you see companies like Livestream, taping iPhone 5s and Samsungs on their dash, along with GoPro, HD cameras,
Yeah.
it's how fast you adapt. This is honestly my first Google Hangout.
You know what? This is my first interview.
Oh, well, what I think is really amazing about that is someone told me that Google Hangouts is just, surpassing Skype like crazy. And as I'm talking back and forth with you and watching, the stability of both pictures, watching my mouth match, I'm going, wow,
Yeah, Skype. I've done some talking on Skype, but the quality is not as great as this. It's a lot better with this.
I see that. So I can guarantee you on Monday, we'll probably be live streaming off Google Hangout instead of Skype.
Awesome. Okay, and well, I really appreciate all your time so far, Robert. So much value, guys. If you don't know who Robert Hollis is, you go to Facebook, type in Robert Hollis, and definitely start following his fan page and unlimitedprofits.com.
And Jonathan, when you just said that, not to interrupt you, everyone that's watching this video, if I can do it, why can't you? Right now, me and my wife are looking for new homes, even though we live in a nice area. We want a bigger home and closer to the ocean. And my real estate agent, and this is going to sound like I'm bragging, but don't think that I'm bragging. I'm not trying to impress you. I'm trying to press upon you. Well, the houses that we're looking at right now, you need to be pre-screened before you go. No one's going to show you a $22 million home because you just want to show up.
Right.
There's 2 gates that you got to go through that are guarded to get to these houses. And my real estate agent calls the people up and say, yeah, I got this guy that wants to see the house. And they go, well, we need to do a background check on him. And he goes, listen, go to Google and put in Robert Hollis. And they set the appointment. They don't ask me for a credit check. They don't ask me for anything. See, perception is that if you go to Google or Bing, this guy told me that he went to Bing and clicks on videos and put in my name, and he says when it takes up 5 or 6 pages, that this guy must be somebody.
Absolutely. So you got your online presence. You built that. You built the network, and nothing but good stuff about Robert Hollis. That's all I know.
Well, I'm very blessed. I want to keep it that way.
All right. Well, let's talk about your new book, Robert. How's that working? I've read it. It's phenomenal. If you haven't got it, you got to get it. You got to get it. It doesn't matter if you're just in the business or just in life in general. It's going to help you.
Thank you.
Can you just explain why you decided to write the book, and actually how long did it take you to do this project?
Well, believe it or not, it was now I get to give somebody else a plug. It's a guy named Brendon Burchard. Brendon Burchard wrote a book that's called The Millionaire Messenger. In fact, it's a New York Times bestseller list. And with Brendon Burchard, another guy from Montana, and he started hanging around with Jeff Walker and Tony Robbins. He worked with them for years. And, he believes that everyone, and I believe this, Jonathan, even with you and everyone, is that if people really knew our stories from rags to riches, like I say, auto mechanic to life mechanic, is that if people knew your struggles and what you went through, that your hero's journey is no different really than Luke Skywalker's. If you look at everyone out there, it comes to a point where they don't want to be average. They don't want to be average. They don't want to, is this all it is? I get up, before it gets, light out, I drive around a bunch of people that I don't like, that they don't like me. Then I go to work with people that I don't like, that don't like me. And we're all fighting with politics. I'm getting paid hardly anything. I don't get any praise or recognition. I'm not spending time with the people that I love. And so the whole book was written about my journey of going from, the world that I was taught, which is go to school, get special education, to work on a trade. Mine was a mechanic, and then go out and use literal, working hours and getting a paycheck. And that's all I knew until I was exposed to something different. And so being an entrepreneur in the book just really talks about my journey and my story of getting there. And so how the book came about was from a dear friend of mine, Max Miller, that I've known forever. And I helped him in his life go from working for somebody to being an entrepreneur. And so when he wanted to be an author and I pushed him to be an author, then he said, the first book I want to write is about you, which was extremely humbling. Very, very, very humbling. So my belief in the book is sort of I love one of the reviews on Amazon said that they believe it's the new Think and Grow Rich.
Absolutely.
And what it is just the things that I had to figure out, the things that I did, which are a lot of the points that we covered here on the interview. And when I found a mentor and didn't want to change anything, my whole goal was to help my mentor. Bill Gould was his name. He wanted to create, 50 multimillionaires from, like, I keep joking, but it's true, from like Misfit Island. It's like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. And when I look back, I could show you videos, Jonathan, where there's 20, 25 people in a room 25 years ago.
Wow.
And Bill took those 20, 25 people and made 20 of us multimillionaires.
Wow.
Mechanics on workman's comp, waitresses, schools, preschool teachers, you know what I mean? Surfers, you know what I mean? And he took a bunch of misfits that you can find online now that still credit him to being that mentor. So I just wanted to do what he did. So that's why his name is in the book 48 times.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of stuff about Gold, and a lot of people that he's trained are really big names in this industry.
Oh, huge.
Yeah, just like yourself,
Yeah, Marcus Setta is like the master trainer with World Ventures. You know what I mean? There's some really good names out there. Believe it or not, one person that doesn't mention him much is, if you've ever heard of Danny Johnson.
Oh yeah, I've heard of her.
Danny Johnson was one of his students too.
Wow.
Isn't that amazing?
That's unreal.
So good lineage.
Oh yeah. I got just a couple more questions, and
sure, absolutely.
Unlimited profits. I know what it's done for me and how it's changed me in my life and business.
Okay.
But what is the whole reason that you created Unlimited Profits? How long has it taken you to build Unlimited Profits? And what is your future plans with Unlimited Profits?
Well, I really, really commend you, Jonathan, on the way that you're doing the questions. You and I didn't talk about them beforehand because they lead into each other. Great job. Great job.
Thank you.
Well, Unlimited Profits was my way, because of the technology that we have today, to do what my mentor did for me and those 20 other people for the rest of the world. I wanted to take all the knowledge that he gave me, along with the other knowledge that I've gained from other extremely successful multimillionaires and billionaires, and get a place online where people, if they were ready, could learn this information and better themselves in all 5 areas of their life. Now, I knew that moving forward, like Zynga, that a majority of the people, and really honestly 97% of the people, are going to plug in and plug out. They're not going to be at the right time in their life, but they're always going to remember us. You know what I mean? So I see Unlimited Profits as being one of those companies that have 200 million people. You know what I mean? A billion people. If Facebook can do it, I can do it. And I do know that a majority of those people, like Facebook, are not going to make money on Facebook, but it allows them to connect. If Facebook has done anything, and what I wanted Limited Profits to be, is a place where people can connect with others that have aspirations and dreams and hopes to be better than who they are, to be a better father, to be a better spouse, to be a better mother, to be better in community, to be better in everything. That's my first goal with Unlimited Profits. Now, out of all those people that come there, and that's why I tell people that's why you got to all day, every day, be sharing the information from Unlimited Profits. The second thing is I believe that some of them are going to learn the skills enough to be able to start making a little bit of money. And when I tell people all the time is, man, if your goal was nothing but to have, enough members, paid members, and Unlimited Profits where your schooling didn't charge you anything on a monthly basis, where you could say to somebody, hey, guess what? I'm in profit. Unlimited Profits. I'm in profit. The next step is plugging people into that training where now all of a sudden, slow but sure, you're making a couple extra $100 a month. Still, the goal in the world right now is if you could help people make an extra $200, $300 a month. Do you know when I say that in the United States, it seems like nothing, but it would stop 90% of all people from going into bankruptcy. That's a car payment. That's actually, if you got a car, that could be medical insurance. I mean, it's huge to make an extra $300, $500 a month. It truly, truly is. And we can't forget how many people need that. But when I talk about other companies, I mean other countries, Jonathan, $250 a month US replaces their income. Right. People don't realize how blessed we are in the United States. Other countries, make less than $250 US a year.
That's right.
Wow. So if I can show them, and this is documented, this is just not a dream of mine, this is a worldwide dream, that you could take a smartphone and hand it to a kid in a third world country that's hooked up to the internet, and that child has a chance to escape poverty.
That's awesome.
Isn't that wild? It's like,
awesome.
So because that kid's going to realize, I was talking about my son, I don't want to get on a tangent here, but imagine growing up around an environment and a group of people that you didn't even know that there was a city that actually had food that was 40 miles away, because no one left that city, no one left that village, so you just grow up in poverty. You know what I mean? But if a kid got handed a smartphone that was hooked to a cell phone tower that had Google Earth, they'd immediately know that they need to start walking in one direction. that there's, and that's why you see the United States being the kind of country that it is, because the people that did get educated by the United States about the United States, where you could come here and have that American dream, that's why they come from everywhere to come here.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so my belief with Unlimited Profits is the last step. Is I want to go down as one of those companies, and again, you'll always hear my language. I'm not interested in competing against anybody, but I want Unlimited Profits to be a company that's privately held, that's owned by people like you, Jonathan, that there's hundreds of people that make $1 million plus a year that own a part of this company. I just don't want it to be about me. So if someone wanted to plug into a live Unlimited Profits seminar, they would be taught by people like you, Jonathan, and some of your other viewers, and people would hear that it was maybe started by me, but I'm not the only principal.
Right. Well,
so that's the long-term goal, because the long-term goal would be if we all of a sudden have hundreds of people that are making $1 million plus a year, you can make some stuff happen.
Oh yeah.
That allows you even to play around with politics a little bit.
Yeah, just from the where it started, how when you launched Unlimited Profits, from where it started to is now, take me a little bit through the ups and downs and what you endured in starting this company.
Well, a lot of people don't know that Unlimited Profits is more than 10 years old. If you went to Las Vegas, the Secretary of State website, and put unlimitedprofits.com incorporated in there, you're going to see that I incorporated the company in 2002. So I'm in good standings, and I have a A+ rating with the Dun & Bradstreet and also Better Business Bureau. I've been doing this for a long time, and it's just been things that have changed. When I first started out, I knew that people had to have an internet presence. So I developed a software that actually allowed people to be able to build a website in less than 5 minutes. And so the company was really growing and growing fast. And I had companies like Dell and Google that were fighting over some of the technology that I was using. And overnight, a guy started named Tom started a company called MySpace. And in a blink of an eye, people went, well, I'll just build a MySpace page for free. And so that's how fast things can change. You know what I mean? And so, believe it or not, what I did is decide to go back out into the world that I knew, which was network marketing, where I made, $34 million, $35 million. And I decided to go back out in that arena and help a friend of mine that I've known for 20 years get his dream going. And then that's where a year and a half ago, maybe actually it's 2 years next week. 2 years next week on my birthday, I decided to relaunch Unlimited Profits as a way for people to be able to plug in and learn how to market and make money online and build a following of people that know, like, and trust them, so they could introduce them to something else. That could be whatever they truly believe in. I believe in a lot of things. If I was with, it's neat to be with Amazon, that if someone says, well, I'd like to buy an iPad, and I go, great, I'll send you a link. Some people don't even think that they could go to Apple and buy it or walk down to Apple and buy it. But if I can send them an Amazon link because I'm an Amazon affiliate, and the person buys it and I get it sent a check, why not?
Right.
If someone's promoting my book, if you go to Amazon.com and see my book, there's really no reason why you can't click on Jonathan's Amazon link so he can get a check.
Right.
We should be promoting stuff and getting checks. Come on.
Exactly. Well, that's awesome, Robert. I thank you so much for the interview, and thanks for creating Unlimited Profits, and that really can help a lot of people. And lastly, if people want to know where to find you, where to get your book, how to sign up for Unlimited Profits, go ahead and let them know.
Yeah, the best thing that a person can do is, of course, Jonathan and I are partners. Wherever you're seeing this video, wherever he posts this video, Jonathan is a very intelligent individual. I love working with him. Support him and his family. Look at all around this whole page, and you click on Jonathan's links. So if you want to get the book, click on Jonathan's Amazon link to get the book. He'll steer you in the right direction. You want to get involved with Unlimited Profits, click on Jonathan's affiliate link. It's around here. So that's how you get a hold of me. You go through Jonathan.
Well, there's you giving back again, Robert. Thanks so much for your time, Robert. I really appreciate it, and you have a blessed and wonderful day, and we'll have to do this again one day soon.
Yeah, absolutely. And before we go, Jonathan, there's a lot of people that think about being successful, and then there's people that attempt and go for it. And the one thing I love with working with you is your consistency. Just like you're saying that, a lot of people are going to be watching this and saying, man, what a great idea to do a video, but you're going to put it off. And then you're going to say, wow, what a great idea to interview people that are already successful and ask them questions. Well, you're watching this because Jonathan had the courage to just go out and do it. You heard him. He said he hasn't done it before. So I want you to learn from people like Jonathan. So Jonathan, I just want to tell your audience and the people that watch this video how proud I am of you. And you and I are going to do an interview with me, doing a testimonial with you. But if people knew your story, Jonathan, from where you were to where you are today, wouldn't you tell them that they can do this?
Anybody can do it.
Yeah, they don't know our story.
You just have to go out there and make it happen. Find a mentor that's documented and do what he does, and you'll get what he has.
Simple as that.
Thanks a lot, Robert. I
All
appreciate
right.
you, man.
God bless. Bye bye.
Bye bye.